I'm Lucy, and this is Perry's Bourbon Podcast.
You're a jerk.
I thought we were all going around the room and saying our names.
Over now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of This Is My Bourbon Podcast, where we discuss the spirit of Kentucky. My name's Perry, and with me this week, I have quite a crew of...
Ragtag group of family. Right?
Oh, boy. It is the family episode of This Is My Bourbon Podcast. So we're
Minus
gonna,
one.
Minus one.
Minus
poor,
one and two. Really.
Poor Dane. Oh, yeah. And poor Dane and Lindsay are not here. We're coming to you live from the beach in South Carolina. And I remembered all of a sudden I need to have an episode out, so we're recording, sitting around the living room table. So we're going to go around and introduce everybody. As you know from episode 3 of the show, Dad.
Hey, or you can call me David if you'd like to. Most people do.
Dad Ritter.
How are you?
Doing great, Dad. How are you?
I'm good, Perry.
We're at the beach.
Thanks for
We're
having
at
me
the
back
beach.
again, pal.
You're very welcome. We have 3 new guests on the show as well. Starting from Dad's left, working around the room. Who's here?
It's me, Sarah. I'm the littlest Ritter. Thanks for having me.
Little Ritter.
It's Little Ritter.
Yeah,
that's right.
that's my little sister.
AKA Giggles.
Giggles.
AKA, that's about it.
Who's next to Sarah?
Mama Ritter.
Mama Ritter's
Ritter.
next to. You can also call her Kathy.
I think she
Some
prefers Mama Ritter.
people do. I'm not going to call her Kathy. I'll say that much.
At least you can call me
I'll
Kathy.
do it.
And sitting next to me for her first official appearance on the show is Lucy, the wife of the show.
Hi, I'm Lucy.
Mom's
I
also
like
a wife.
short walks on the beach and a nice glass of rosé in the evening. And not really bourbon, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about this episode is that 3 out of the 5 don't actually drink bourbon that much. So the topic for the show is actually going to be how do you drink bourbon when you actually do it? How do you prefer to?
Just kidding.
Hold on, I'm going to adjust the mic a little bit. Because Lucy's decided she's going to be further away than...
Oh my gosh.
Well, you have to be on
You
the
need a pillow
mic.
behind your back.
Anyway.
Excuse.
Yeah, excuse you.
Lots of people coughing today.
Oh, that was lovely.
I'll give you a quick
That was
weather
lovely.
update from Isle of Palm, South Carolina. It's been really, really cold. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's been cold. It's been a little rainy.
Thanks, Ben Murphy.
You're welcome.
Shout out to Ben Murphy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ben. Our first shout out of the afternoon.
Ben Murphy is maybe the best sports anchor in all of the Low Country here in South Carolina.
His Twitter handle is
it at BMurph TV or something like that?
Yeah.
We're all checking on our phone. We were all like tweeting back and forth with him last night for
At
no
Ben
particular
Murphy
reason.
TV.
There we
At
go.
Ben Murphy, Ben capital B, Murphy capital M, TV capital T.
Okay,
and
the caps don't really matter on.
Just do it. Just do it. Look, I'm the dad. Do what I say.
Yeah.
All right.
Second and third shout out should go to Dane and Lindsay.
Well, we did a shout out to them.
Oh, well, they're snowed in currently in Lexington.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, Lexington, Kentucky got about 6 to 8 inches of snow last night.
More like 9.5 to 10.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
A
and,
lot.
and here we are sitting in
Shut down.
45 degree weather in Isle of Palm, South Carolina, and it's been raining today. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
You can't complain too much.
I'd rather be here.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So we missed Dane and Lindsay.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And Ellie.
Oh yeah,
Marie,
and Ellie.
And,
Knox.
and Knox.
And
Before we
Knox.
get into talking about what our first pour of the evening is, I have a short correction from my last episode. I had said that Mark from Bullet had sent us a bottle when actually it was Mike from Bullet, and I apologize to Mike and the.
Idiot.
Mike, I hope you send.
Why did I have you on?
I hope you send Perry another bottle. He didn't mean.
Boy, let me tell you though, Mike and the folks at Bullet are some of the nicest people in the world, and we really do appreciate them sending that bottle of Bullet that we reviewed a few episodes back. But they're all super awesome people. Anyway, so our first pours of the evening I'll start out. Mine's Makers, just good old 90 proof weeded Makers. Dad, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking the same pair.
Going for the second pour.
Just the same. No, I'm just coming up to speed here. But I have dropped a cube in mine.
So he can, yeah. Anyway, so what's on the other end there?
Evan Williams.
It's the Evan Williams
Fridge.
single barrel.
Yeah, it's
With
the Evan
little.
Williams single barrel vintage. It's the 86 proof. We've talked about this when you've had me on before.
Very briefly, but yeah.
And this has quickly turned into one of my favorites, if not my house favorite.
Yeah,
right now.
and we always say too that we're not really big on lower proof bourbons,
Right.
and like 86 is about as low as I prefer to go, but there every once in a while 80 proof I'll make an exception for, like Jim Beam Choice or something like that.
And Mama Ritter is cooking dinner for us later, so she's taking it slow right now.
Yes.
Slow ride.
I'm just having a little sip here and
That
there.
sounded terrible.
Now, oh jeez. Now, moving on. Lucy did not start out with bourbon. Lucy, what did you start out with?
Cupcake rosé with a splash of Seagram's gin.
Ooh.
God, that sounds
Surprisingly good.
awful.
Good,
Okay.
good
Just
in
a
what?
splash.
Here, I'm gonna.
It's almost a French 75, but not quite.
Ew.
Shout
That's
out to
actually-
French 75.
That's
Try that out next time you're looking at a cocktail list.
that's actually pretty good.
It's very good.
I'm really surprised by how good that is.
Mama Ritter will give her review.
I said the fly.
Dad's not a gin person. Dad had a
No.
bad experience with gin in his younger drinking years.
However, I do recommend giving gin another try if you don't like it, because it's an underrated
Done?
liquor.
Well, you
here
can
in
hold
the
your
States.
recommendations for later.
Yeah, we'll hold it.
I've got so many that I gotta get some out right now.
Okay.
Lucy's got a lot of
Jumping
ideas.
the gun here.
Months
I have a lot of
Yes.
feelings, guys.
Oh no.
This is like
This isn't
Festivus.
this
here.
isn't gonna go well. I can
I
already.
got a lot of problems with these people. And you're gonna hear about them.
That's unfortunate
whole
because you
world's
married
gonna
in.
So I want to provide a short disclaimer for the beginning of the episode. Sarah is just kind of hanging out with us.
Hey.
Just to kind of be on the show. Sarah is in fact underage, so she will not be partaking.
In fact, Sarah's birthday was yesterday.
Sarah's birthday was yesterday. Yeah.
But not the 21st birthday.
No.
364 days.
Yeah.
Starting the 21st year.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Anyway, so I just wanted to establish that before we actually. Anyway, Lucy's going to be making side jokes, I think, throughout most
Usually
of this
I'm the
episode.
side joke maker, and
Yeah.
I think I'm just
I
gonna
think
let.
there's going to be a lot of side
Sides
jokes.
to every story here, though.
We're going to have to work really hard to not include inside jokes, too. There are...
Lucy's just killing it right now. Okay,
Already crying.
It's that gin and rosé.
Oh, no.
so one of the
Yes.
things that we like to do to kick off the show is talk about what we've been drinking recently. So Lucy, what you been drinking recently? Water. Sarah said water.
Honestly, a lot of rosé. I've gotten into it. I am a millennial, so it is our nature. But it is very good. A nice brut rosé. I don't like the sweet stuff.
What was the rosé ale? Not the
There's Rheingeist and there's Angry Orchard.
Yeah, you had the Angry
I
Orchard
don't
recently.
care for the Angry Orchard.
Yeah, it was just
No
kind of
offense
okay.
to those that do.
Yeah, no, totally cool with your own opinions.
But I will say,
I prefer
though-
Rheingeist personally.
We're
Yeah,
open-minded
the bubbles.
here. This is my bourbon podcast.
But I will say though that like the regular
once.
Angry Orchard
I'll try anything
cider
once.
is
won't.
really pretty good.
Yeah, I do like Angry Orchard cider.
Yeah. I can't cut out any of that, by the way.
Oh, no.
Because they're having a good conversation.
We'll go again.
No, it's okay. We're just gonna keep chugging along. Dad,
Oh.
what you been drinking recently?
Well, I've been drinking the Evan Williams. Like I said, what's wrong?
Fuzz.
Makers, you know,
Your
the
mainstays, your
mainstays.
go-tos.
Woodford. I still love Jefferson's, like I have every episode you've had me on.
Mm-hmm. You just picked up a bottle of Old Granddad 114 today.
I did, which I've only had once, and I will have it soon.
It's surprising how
It's-
hard it is to find in Kentucky, but
It was the first thing we saw in the third liquor store we went to today.
we had a little bit of trouble trying to find a South Carolina bourbon to review for this episode.
Which is really what we're reviewing
later
Which is
on.
not really
Yeah.
what we're reviewing. It's what we are reviewing. What are you doing?
Need some space.
Sarah's been drinking water, so we're gonna move on from her.
We had non-alcoholic
I did have
Bellini last night. So
a
it's
virgin
really,
peach
it was
Bellini for dinner.
We
like,
went-
with
peach
dinner.
juice, peach smoothie, I guess.
We went to
It was pretty
Blossom
good.
in
Done
downtown
by the
Charleston, South Carolina for dinner
Shameless
last night.
plug for them.
We will. We definitely think that it's worth a trip to the restaurant. It's-
Hashtag not sponsored.
No sponsors. Maybe by episode
hashtag
20.
free dinner if wished.
Maybe by episode 20 we'll have a sponsor, but we're on episode 17. Nope. 18? I don't know.
Anyway.
I forgot.
Say one and then edit out which one.
This episode is brought to you by
The letter Q.
Mom, what you been drinking recently?
Well, my choice is Chardonnay. However, when I'm drinking bourbon, it's pretty much what you all pour for me to taste. So I can't tell you because I can't remember. But I love Angel's Envy.
She's the wild card.
Mom has a big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had the Angel's Envy rye yet?
I think
Yes.
so. I think that's
Okay.
one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
Okay.
But right
You do
now, I
like
have a little
that.
bit of, now I have a little bit of Evan Williams. What is it?
Single
101?
barrel.
It's
Single barrel.
whatever's poured for me. I don't know what it is.
It's a single barrel.
But yeah, we were talking about it.
But we also had a week or two ago. We had the Yellowstone. What Perry?
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. It's not the black label. It's the yellow label.
Yeah, it wasn't the limited release. It's just their basic.
I remember it was good.
And that's a very
remember.
that's a very very good bourbon.
Does it
I
give me
think
some
I've even
different
talked about
bourbons?
that before too.
Yeah.
And, if Mama Ritter likes it, well, you know.
And she's currently
Gotta
not a
be
fan of La Crema Chardonnay.
Even though it's a wonderful Chardonnay. Last night, I had a really good glass of Antinori Chardonnay at Blossom.
I want to back up for a second too and talk about this Evan Williams single barrel. It is again one of the few age-stated bourbons that you can actually find on the market today. And this bottle specifically, on the front
Explain
it,
what
has,
you meant by that.
it says how old it is.
Okay. Age stated. I thought you said age stated.
No, age.
I thought you
age,
did too.
Age stated.
Okay.
Anyway,
You gotta enunciate. It's a podcast.
enunciate.
They can't see your
And for
mouth.
the older
man.
Age-
folks, or
age
those that are hard
stated.
of the hearing,
Anyway, but like
Sarah
on the
raised
front
her
of the bottle, anybody who sees a bottle of Evan Williams, they know that it has the year that it was actually put in the barrel. This is from 2009. This is one of the last few bottles too that I've seen of Evan Williams single barrel from 2009.
Really?
The 2010s are starting
Are they?
to roll out too. 2009, a good year.
yeah, 2009 for Evan Williams single barrel, excellent year.
And it was bottled 7 days before your birthday last year, Dad. So
How old were you?
Cool.
I turned 53,
No.
but
how
at
old-
that point,
yeah,
I was 52
in
and
2009.
crushing it.
no.
2009.
It was barreled in 2009.
Oh,
it was
that's what I was
bottled.
asking.
It was bottled
About
in
11, 6, 17.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's an 8-year-old bourbon, and again, it's what, $26?
Yeah,
It's great for
it's
it.
so it's inexpensive and just fantastic, and
No, I would like to say though, I would like to try a higher proof version of that, even a barrel proof.
So,
We know how much we like our barrel proofs.
yeah,
a
we love our
question-
barrel proof.
Question
Yes.
for the experts.
Yes,
As a person who is underage,
and not a bourbon drinker.
what's the appeal of a higher proof bourbon?
So one of the
Good question.
Thank you.
well, I'm glad you asked, Sarah. And so
Obvious.
That's a really good question.
Yeah,
There's
I have
three-
a lot of
there's-
learning to do
there's
in the
three
next
answers to that.
364
Yeah.
days.
so the first thing
Drink
that
responsibly.
Thanks, Mama Ritter.
the first thing that I like about higher proof bourbons, typically is that what you have in the bottle is closer to what has come right out of the barrel.
Okay.
It's the same thing with like barrel proof bourbons. You are getting essentially the way that the bourbon was intended to be tasted. So not only are you getting, Lucy's reaching for popcorn, those really intense like caramel and oak notes on it, but it's not been watered down to a lower proof.
taking a nap in between. Oh,
She's
leaning
leaning
away from the
away from the
microphone.
mic. It's not going to pick up that much. You're okay. You're fine. She was leaning away from the mic to make sure that her crunching didn't get on. But anyway,
It's still on there.
no, that's all right. But anyway, it just provides a more air conditioning is going to come on. It provides a more not unique. Well, it is a unique experience, but it's just you get more of an idea of what it's really supposed to taste like. For
Like
example,
the intentions of
the distillers.
distilleries.
Yeah. And one of the things I've been drinking is a find that I didn't expect. When we got into town the other day, of course, we stopped in a store.
The first thing
And
besides go to the bathroom.
they had a bottle of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, last year's last release, which was the C917. It was one of those I didn't think I was ever going to find again.
We found it.
And we just happened to find it. Anyway, it's going to be a different experience from trying like the regular Elijah Craig, which is 94 proof, to this barrel proof, which is 131, and might knock you on your butt a little bit, but you know it's fun.
But it's a very smooth knock on your butt.
Sure, yeah, it's got a little bit of heat, but
It is
that was,
a little.
that was a strange statement.
Yeah, it was kind of strange.
Sarah's not sure, and anyway, we're gonna move right over.
No, we're not,
Well-
because I wasn't done yet with my record.
Oh.
what I've been drinking.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
Because
But
one of the
there's
things
more.
that I've been drinking has been Town Branch Gin,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
which is very interesting that, Bourbon Distillery put out a gin.
Mhm.
And it's actually very good, and it's great in cocktails, and I've been drinking it with just soda or LaCroix to add another little extra flavor and a squeeze of lime juice or lemon juice.
Oh, you were saying that you've been getting into the bubbly waters lately.
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
And I like it a lot with the gin. And I normally am a Hendrix person, and I still am. But I think it's a good mix between Hendrix and Tanqueray or something like that.
I come back to Hendrix a lot, and I Clapton sometimes, but mainly Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Lucy's more of
I
a
was
Beatles. Lucy's more of a Beatles guy or girl, but sorry.
I don't know. I like
I
a good
know.
Jimi
I
Hendrix
know.
song.
One thing about
Bold as love.
having Axis Bold as love. Lots of distilleries are putting out something other than bourbon,
Yeah.
such as like Buffalo Trace has made a vodka,
Yep.
Yeah.
We
And a
Um,
white
Oh.
dog.
and yeah,
It's supposed to be really good.
yeah, it's supposed to be
Uh-huh.
very good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
shout
did-
out to Buffalo Trace. We
Heaven
love
Hill
you
puts out a
guys.
Yes, we do.
and they distill their vodka something ridiculous like 100 times.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
normally it's only like 4 to 6, I
Right.
think.
That's what we learned when we were on
when
the
you
tour.
when you went to yeah. Anyway, are you done with what you've been drinking?
Yeah, I believe so.
For now.
Oh no, the West Six Cerveza.
Yes. I was
Oh,
going to throw
man.
that at the end of my recommendations.
Well, we'll
but
do
we
that.
can talk about it now.
We can
need
come
to
back.
open
Well,
another
we can
one
come
now.
back to it.
Okay.
We'll tease a little bit and,
Okay.
and
That's
come
for-
back to it later on.
Okay.
So the main topic for the evening is going to be something that we like to talk about a lot, and that's it doesn't matter how you drink your bourbon; it's the fact that you're drinking bourbon. And we're always trying to make sure that there are more bourbon drinkers in our circle of friends, but not everybody drinks bourbon the same way. And Lucy's shaking her head. No, I don't. So I wanted to, because we have a pretty wide array of drinkers in sitting with us. This is the first time we've had this many people on the show before. So I wanted to take some time and kind of discuss what the benefits are of drinking certain bourbons certain ways, or why you like it and all that. So I'm going to let Dad go first to kind of kick it off.
Well, there's like 3 or 4 ways I like to drink bourbon. I don't like.
How many are there?
Well, hold on, and I will tell you. I'm not too big on like a cocktail, except like a Manhattan.
Uh-oh.
What's
won't
the
go there. We won't go there.
We're not going to go there. There is a story behind that, but we're not going to go there.
No.
I do like a Manhattan. I don't like them as much as I used to like them. They're a fantastic cocktail. I drink bourbon like 3 different ways. On the rocks with a splash of water, neat with just a little bit of water, or a blank in water.
What does that mean?
What's blank?
Like Maker's in water, or
Oh.
Evan Williams in water, or
Just
Woodford
bourbon
in
in
water.
water.
Yeah, just a bourbon in water. But I mean, really, the best.
Okay, I gotcha.
What were you thinking?
No, I had to kind of process for a second what
I
all
just
you were
didn't
saying.
want to give he only drinks Maker's
Sure,
Mark
yeah,
in water.
yeah.
He doesn't
No,
drink
no.
Woodford in
I
water.
gotcha.
But you can measure the pours, of course, as we all do, differently, and sometimes a Maker's in water turns out to be a Maker's in a splash in water. But it just depends on what you want at the time. If Kathy and I are grilling, making dinner, I'll have a Maker's in water. And it just depends on what you want.
Sure.
What tastes good to you at the time.
Yeah. And I mean, it depends too on what your intentions are for the rest of the evening.
That's that too, and it also depends a lot on the bourbon.
Sure.
I mean, there are many bourbons that are supposed to be enjoyed with just a small amount of water or whatever. I don't care for, and it's just me and the way I saw my parents enjoy their drinks. I don't enjoy other things than water in my beverages.
Sure.
Because my parents, and I told you this before, and you all that have heard me before, drank scotch, and they drank scotch in water. And I know.
Ugh, I made a
But they
face.
drank
Sorry.
good scotch.
Good. When you say good scotch, what do you mean?
Doers.
Okay.
And they used to drink Cutty Sark as well.
I don't know what that one is. I'm not as well versed in scotch.
Well,
Is-
I am because
Which you would know if you from a couple episodes ago, Chad had me drink a couple of different scotches on the episode, and I made faces.
the whole time. And it's once again, it's an acquired taste.
It is.
We've discussed this before, and it's
As is bourbon.
it's yeah. But those are the ways that I consume it. I don't. Those that drink them with soda or cola, that's fine.
Or ale 8.
Or LA, or however. It's to each his own. It's to each his own how you do everything.
Well, sometimes
in
your
life.
tastes change over time because
Right.
we used to drink. I used to drink bourbon and Tab, and bourbon and Diet Coke, and bourbon and Fresca. And then
Well, and
Bourbon
we-
with anything.
then went to bourbon and water with lime or lemon wedges.
Right.
And now I don't drink much of it, but I mean, I think your tastes change over
What-
time and how you really enjoy it.
Yeah.
One thing Kathy likes is like if we've opened a bottle, if Perry and I are at home and we've opened something new, you enjoy the taste in the Glencairn
Yeah.
glass, and you don't drink much of it. You just
Test.
Test what?
you test the bourbon. Check
Like,
one.
Testing
Check.
the microphone.
Test the microphone.
Check.
Check. Can you hear me?
We're what, like 20 minutes in, and I'm just now checking the microphone. It's
And
great.
I've not
to
had
start
much
over.
bourbon.
I want
Oh God, we got to start pouring again.
I want to go back too for a second about you Dad specifically said that you get different experiences depending on the way that you drink it. That's really specific to when you're talking about barrel proof bourbons.
Yes.
As I said earlier too, like the Elijah Craig barrel proof is going to be different from the Elijah Craig small batch. Sometimes when you take that barrel proof and you add a couple drops of water to it, it smooths out some of the rougher edges, and you're going to get some of the more, covered up flavors that you don't notice because
Right.
you might be getting more of an alcohol burn, or the caramel and the oak might be really, really pronounced,
Right.
as opposed to it being more of a balanced experience.
Right. I'll get to the right. I was going to say something. I'll
Oh,
save
okay.
it for later. I'll say that for later. Yeah. But if you find something new that
Try it different ways.
Try it different ways.
Yeah.
Try it. Really, try it neat at first.
Yeah.
Put your nose in the glass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's...
And then move on.
And then move on. I mean, but you know, your nose is going to tell you exactly... Let's stop it. Your nose is going to tell you exactly, you know, what's going on in your palate before it goes into your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Sarah just drinks water.
Bless your heart, honey. We are so proud of you.
We'll introduce you to
you.
bourbon. in
When the
364
time is
days.
right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, Mom, I think, I don't know, between you and Lucy, I don't know who drinks bourbon less.
I'd say Lucy.
It would be
Probably
me, because
Lucy.
when I do drink it, it's a really small sample, and I'll take another sip if I like it, but if I don't like it, then I'm probably not going to take another sip. But if your mom likes it or samples it, she's going to take, you know, ½ ounce to an ounce of a pour.
Sure.
Anymore, I just pretty much sip whatever they have poured. I don't think I've had an actual glass of my own bourbon in
In a while.
a few months. I like it. Don't let that fall.
Now, but when you... Don't let it fall. When
The
you
bourbon is resting on the arm of the couch
Very precarious.
because nobody can see but us.
now when you do drink though, how do you
Mom
prefer to
thinks.
drink it?
How do I prefer to
Yeah.
drink it? Anymore, I would prefer to drink it straight or with just a few drops of water or with an ice cube because I've gotten to the point that, I mean, I don't drink that much, so I don't want a whole drink, and then I really enjoy all the different flavors because it is straight. So
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good point about a few drops of water, because sometimes, even if you have a new bottle that hasn't really opened up yet, those few couple drops
Yeah.
of water will open it up a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I like an ice cube in it because if it is so strong, it kind of keeps it from being so burny and it melts
Yeah.
a little bit. So
And
Bernie,
you know,
burny.
the
Bernie
longer
Sanders?
the longer that
this is
you
non-political. Hold on. This is
That's my whole
non-political.
thing.
Thanks.
the longer that you leave a bottle open too, the more it's gonna, you know, open up and everything. But anyway,
That's a different story.
that's
It's a
another
different
conversation
podcast.
entirely. Hey Lucy,
Next episode.
Yeah.
how do you like to drink bourbon?
Normally mixed. I like bourbon mixed. I'm really trying to like it straight. I do my best, and I really appreciate bourbon for what it is and the art of it. And
You are your father's daughter.
I know. I really appreciate it, and I really want to like it, and I try so hard to like it. And the way I tend to drink it is with lemonade, sweet tea, or both. Or in a cocktail. I can normally handle it in a cocktail. Even in old-fashioned, I can handle it.
Yeah. I will say too that like bourbon and lemonade is really fun in the summer.
It is. It's so refreshing. And if you go to weddings, they normally have, at least in Kentucky, they normally have bourbon
Yeah.
as the liquor. And then there's always sweet tea and lemonade. And that's probably very southern. I don't know about, you know, in the north. But it's a great drink to drink at weddings because it gets the job done and it goes down real easy.
Yeah, and sometimes even if you don't have like honey bourbon,
Right.
and but you add like a little bit of honey with the lemonade and the,
Yeah.
and the bourbon too. That makes for a really cool, fun experience. And maybe
Yeah.
like a splash of, or like a squeeze of an actual lemon too,
Oh,
to
yeah.
kind of give it a little bit more zest.
Yeah.
You're talking about summer. It's funny how some people that we have talked to do not like to drink bourbon in hot weather, such as our friend Nick Carter.
Nick Carter of the Backstreet Boys?
No,
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 no.
Because if you've been holding him back this whole time, I'm going to be real mad.
No. This is our friend Nick Carter from the show Feedback at
Sirius XM.
Volume Sirius XM. He and
Good
Perry
guy.
Does he
and I-
know Nick Carter of the Backstreet Boys?
I'm
'Cause
sure.
he
That,
has
I'm sure his
hosted
friend.
XM.
I'm sure his friend Lori Majewski does, but I don't think he does. But
Nick
anyway,
Carter of the Backstreet Boys, if you're listening, come join your friends in
Okay.
Kentucky.
Well.
Join Kevin or Brian when they come home.
Hey, yeah, anybody, look, I want to throw this out there. I was thinking about this the other day. If you are local to if you're local to Kentucky and you want to come hang out with us for an episode, let me know.
Especially if you know the Backstreet Boys.
Send us an email. This is mybourbonshop@gmail.com. We would be happy to kind of work something out. I'm always interested in having different people on.
Especially the Backstreet Boys.
Especially the Backstreet Boys for Lucy so that she can cry a little bit.
especially
I
Nick
cry
Carter
very
from Sirius XM show Volume, Channel Volume, and we've shouted out to you, Nick. That you can come and hang out with us when you come to Louisville, when you come to Bourbon and Beyond Festival.
Yeah. which, by the way, is in September. We're going to be hyping up Bourbon and Beyond from now until then because it's going to be... Dad and I went, as we've said before, this past year, and it was a fantastic, unbelievable experience. Not just with Mom's getting a hot flash.
Hey.
not just
No,
for
it's the bourbon.
She's had two
It's
sips of
Bourbon
bourbon.
flash.
Oh,
It wasn't just a great experience for the bourbon, and but the music was a great little add-on too.
And it was so fun to see Chad and Sarah.
Not me. Oh, Sarah.
Because
Chad and
Sarah,
Sarah, it's bourbon
because
night.
Sarah did meet me there, Perry. You remember that?
Yes, I do remember
And
that.
I know Chad does, but does Sarah remember?
Sarah,
No.
Sarah didn't
No.
really remember the y'all know.
Shout out Sarah for.
We love Sarah
Same name.
though.
Sarah doesn't spell her name with an H.
Well,
She
H's
spells
are-
it the way the
I'll-
H's
I'll
are
still
H's
like
to
her,
spell.
oh dear.
Oh goodness.
Why are you putting this on Sarah? You're the one that named her.
I am.
You all-
But it's
you
a
all
long
named her.
family
I was
story.
incompetent.
One of the things too that one of the ways that Lucy likes to drink bourbon in the summer too is with Ale 8, and we kind of touched on that before. A while back, I haven't had it in a while. As a never mind. A long time ago, when we were over at your dad's, I would make up a little bourbon cocktail with Ale 8 and orange liqueur. That was really, really good. And Brett makes homemade orange liqueur.
It's very good.
It's really, really good. But maybe we'll do another cocktail episode where we talk specifically about... I had a name for it too, and I can't remember what it was.
No idea.
Probably a
No.
good reason for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too many of the
Wonder why I
whatchamacallits.
forgot.
Yeah, maybe that's what I call it. Whatchamacallits.
It was good when I remembered it.
Real quick before I talk about how I like to drink bourbon, Dad and I just poured
There we go.
one of our favorites, the Heaven Hill
My
Bottled
show.
and Bond 6 year, which again is maybe the best value bourbon out there on the market.
For a bottled and bond, yes.
Yeah, at 6 years, and Mom wants a little bit.
It's
6 years, 100 proof, and
Thank you. The clink of
$13.
the ice. Chink.
I know, Mom's had this before, but
Is there no cheersing on this phone or on this
Oh, no, wait
podcast?
till- when we get
we'll
to the-
cheer. We'll cheers.
Okay. I was gonna say.
We'll cheers to vacation when we
It's
actually
not,
do the
that's
review.
not very fun if you don't.
This is incredible alcohol right here.
No, it really is. No, I mean,
It's a funny way to
It's the
put
finest
that.
ethanol you can find.
For the money.
for the money at $13.
I mean, it's not going to win any prizes, but
It might.
okay.
It's interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah. Why you
That
say
was
it's
my
interesting?
reaction to the
then, Mom?
water.
The water here.
The
at
water
the
on
beach
this show is just incredible.
The water at the beach, by the way, sucks.
It
It's
does.
awful.
What'd you say
We
was
have
interesting
water.
for there, Mom?
You're right. You're right.
What's different than the
Terrible.
Williams?
Mm-hmm.
It's different than the Evan Williams. Give me a
It's your
glass.
wife's.
Mom's also the moderator and the producer for this episode.
All right, you're done.
It is getting
Didn't make
warm
it to
in
the
here.
tasting, but you're done. For the review, my bad.
Of course, Evan Williams and is made at Heaven Hill, and I don't know, I can't remember for sure, but they might use the same mash bill. So it just goes to show that depending on the year and the proof and everything, you can get different experiences with bourbon, and the char of the barrel and everything. But where are you going, Sarah?
I have to pee.
Okay. That's okay. That's getting left in.
Okay.
The way that I love drinking bourbon neat. I mean, that's about the only way that I drink it anymore. And I mean, I love a good cocktail too, as I've said before. But if I'm drinking bourbon, I like to appreciate what's going on in the glass and the way that it was intended to be put in the bottle for the consumer and everything. And sure, I might put a couple of drops of water in it.
Well, I think that's great. I mean, going back to what you were saying about me, once again, I think it's about the consumer.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just what you A, want out of it, B, what you're used to, and for
Sure.
what you enjoy.
You went AB4.
You did.
I did it on purpose.
One thing I didn't think about, you're asking how I like to drink bourbon. When we go to OBC, they have such good bourbon cocktails. I
Mhm.
enjoy in a restaurant. I like when they make something because it's nothing I could make at home.
Yeah.
Sure.
OBC is a restaurant which
Yes.
We've
it's
talked
in
about-
Lexington.
we've
You've
talked
had-
about before.
You've had
I still have not put this episode out yet, but Iverson, one of our friends and one of the best bartenders there at OBC.
knows his bourbon.
Oh, absolutely.
They make great cocktails there.
They do. And their cocktail menu changes month to month. And
it's themed.
it's always themed. Yeah,
Right.
I think this month is country songs.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We'll look at it later on.
Okay. No, shameless plug there for OBC, but
I
And
play.
really good food.
Oh yeah,
really
their
good
food's
food.
fantastic. But yeah, anyway.
Anyway,
Anyway, I like to
back.
drink my bourbon neat more. Sarah's back. Sarah's pouring salt on her popcorn.
no, that was a tequila shot actually.
Yeah.
JK.
Oh, yeah.
It was actually salt on popcorn.
I'm actually been texting with Dane while we're doing this too.
Yeah, poor Dane having to be home with the snow
It's
and everything.
snowing all that.
But we're here.
He's
Well,
getting work done. We're
What do you
not.
think?
Yeah. What do I think? I think that
The time has come.
the time has come to talk about what we're going to be reviewing this episode.
Everyone get your
Right,
country
Let's
accents
talk
on.
about it.
It's time to.
Hill Billy. Man,
One thing
I
that
think
we-
I think we lost about 30 listeners just from those 3 seconds.
Our shoes are coming off, shirts off.
No. Y'all keep your
Guys.
shirts on.
Shout out to the Grease on the podcast. That's if you listen to that show, you know what I mean.
One thing Perry and I talked about before we came down here was that we would like to find a local distillery bourbon that that we would like to review. So it took us a little bit, but
And thanks to some persuasion from a very nice, if not overly friendly.
But I hope he's not a listener.
he's not, because we didn't drop anything. He's
He
a good
didn't-
guy.
He didn't seem too big on
He
his
dropped
bourbon.
something in that
Yeah.
bomb, which we were like,
Oh.
dude, that's enough.
That's not good for business.
There were other people in the store too, and we were like,
Yeah,
really?
there was a woman in there. I was just like, dude, don't do that.
Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, so we looked at
I'm
a
sorry.
Sarah's-
we looked
Hey,
at
if I can't have the bourbon, I'm gonna have the snacks.
that's my
There's a
daughter.
shirt.
So we we looked at a couple of local bourbon whiskeys that we thought might hit the criteria of tonight's podcast, and we decided to go with Hillbilly. It's Hillbilly.
Yeah, Billy.
It's an American whiskey, and it's also
Carolina straight
it's
bourbon whiskey.
Carolina straight bourbon whiskey, and here on the
How are
back
they
of the
allowed
label,
to call it bourbon?
It doesn't have to be in Kentucky.
right?
Oh.
But it says Hillbilly Bourbon is a real American whiskey made for real Americans.
We ain't real Americans. I don't know what we are.
Yeehaw.
Sip or swig responsibly with pride.
Sip or swig.
It says it's aged a minimum of
I
6
like that.
months in a
When
new
you- yeah.
charred oak barrel.
Swig makes me think that whoever's drinking it is just taking the bottle and like
It's just knocking
full
her
hit.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mom did
I
the
mean,
universal sign
sans
for
the-
it.
It's
Fun
Keith,
stopper.
it's Keith Richards before with a Rebel Yell.
Oh,
you know,
absolutely,
he's-
absolutely.
I'm picturing like the old jugs with the 3 X's
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
it and taking a big swig
little
out of that.
handle.
Yeah.
So-
The moonshine jugs.
Yeah.
So this will be a new one for us.
Yeah.
It's raised outdoors. It's born country.
Yeah.
Raised
And really the base.
Just like you.
Except I was born in Albany, New York.
Yeah.
It's a big difference, but
So this is, as you can probably tell, going to be a first shot review for us, meaning that we
No
have
fun.
not actually opened this bottle yet. Dad's struggling a little bit to get the seal
put
off.
the seal
but-
is like
Yeah, no kidding. Real quick about it, I was looking at the label earlier. It's 101 proof. Don't really know what the mash bill is. Here we go. We're going to do the uncorking. This is great. Quality content. Oh, that's
I just talked right over it.
Yeah.
that's all right. Yeehaw, is that what you said?
Yeah. Because,
Great.
country.
It is also aged, as it says, at least 6 months.
No, a minimum of 6 months.
Yeah. So it could be real good. It could. Dad made a face. Here we go. we're gonna pass pours around. I'm nervous. It's got a nice color to it.
It's a
Could be
big
dye.
pour.
It can't.
I
it
can
can't
add
be
water to
dye
it.
Oh, cool.
for it to actually be bourbon whiskey.
Here.
It smells really corny.
Just water.
It smells very strongly of alcohol.
You know
Not
what?
much
Actually, sniffing from the bottle smells very different from sniffing from
That's good.
the glass.
Thank you.
It smells worse in the glass to me.
I actually disagree. I think it kind of smells like coffee in the glass.
It smells like nail polish remover in the glass to me.
Okay, there's going to be a lot of dead air for
Strong-
smelling right now.
Strong acetone.
I actually kind of like the nose.
I do not
There's some caramel and chocolate and a little bit of like coffee on
Same thing.
the nose. I'm pretty happy with it.
You mean Dad?
Yes. Sorry, which
I
one
was
is
the one that
pouring.
poured it.
I'm sorry.
Fantastic
Sorry.
legs.
Am I
Yeah.
allowed to smell it and give
Oh
a
yeah, of course you
review?
can smell it.
Okay.
You can give a smell
Osmosis
review.
drunk.
It smells kind of chocolatey to me.
Yeah.
I don't smell much of anything.
I
Let me
get
smell
it.
yours,
It smells
Dad.
fruity and ethanol.
I don't think I have enough in my glass.
I can't get past that alcohol smell.
It's
though.
real alcohol.
It's really
Yeah.
alcohol, yeah.
Smells like nail polish remover.
That's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why I don't smell anything else.
I
You just
think.
took your nail polish off.
I mean, my nose burns.
Okay, I got. I just. Jeez.
You okay?
Yeah, no, it smells great.
Yeah, I just.
Be a little more dramatic, Perry.
I actually just got a little bit of the
Yeah.
The nail polish remover?
Nail polish remover,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
like,
too.
but that was because I stuck my nose way down in the glass.
How else do you sniff bourbon?
Higher
That's
up in
how
the
you
glass.
put your
Look,
nose in.
higher up in the glass,
What?
I get a lot of. I get
Bring it
a
up
lot
to your
more
nose.
to it. Yeah.
I'm starting to get the chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't think
get-
it's as nutty as it is
No, I get-
It's
chocolatey.
definitely
Nail
not
polish
nutty. I don't
remover.
get any.
Yeah.
of that.
Somebody tasted it?
not yet,
Not
because
yet.
we,
Cheers
'cause we
to
haven't
it.
cheers yet.
Oh.
Yeah. So everybody, cheers to the
first.
beach.
Cheers to vacation.
Cheers. Cheers. This is the best water I've
Oh.
ever had.
It's okay. I'll edit that part out. Anyway, here we go.
You know, there's not a lot of flavor. I expected it to really hit me. I could drink this.
It's not that
It
bad.
doesn't burn at all,
It
but
doesn't,
it also doesn't have much flavor.
but it tastes
Boy,
better
I-
than it smells.
I tell you though, it doesn't drink like 101 proof.
It's 101 proof.
It's 101 proof.
No, it doesn't.
Wow.
It's pretty smooth for
It's
101.
very smooth.
I don't think it's bad. It's just not kind of what we're used to with the different flavors.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me take another
It's
sip.
not one of my favorites.
It's got more flavor on the second sip.
It does.
It's honestly what I expected from
from a South Carolina.
a South Carolina distillery.
Doesn't it kind of
And
have like
I hate to sound that way.
it kind of it? You know what's funny though is it almost has like a saltwater taste to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Saltwater caramel is what I'm getting.
Yeah,
Which
definitely.
Yeah.
sea salt caramel
Sea
is a big
salt
flavor
caramel.
right now, but I don't recommend this bourbon.
Yeah.
Stick to your candies.
I mean, I would drink it. 'Cause I'm
I
not
would
a-
come back to it. I really want to come back to it after it's stayed open.
Does it
for a little.
taste like the water tastes down here?
Yes.
Maybe
yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
I have dropped a cube in mine.
Yeah, I was gonna add a couple drops of water to mine.
And it was
so-
like a melted half a cube. So
It's. Hold
this
on.
is not drinkable.
Oh no, not at all.
This is not like what you and Chad and Sarah.
It's not like the old
Reviewed.
Forster birthday bourbon. Let me get another drop.
But
We'll see how this changes it.
This is second sip.
I think it makes it worse, personally. It gives it more
Well,
flavor,
the-
but it's not good flavor.
I added like 4 or 5 drops of water. It helped the nose a lot. I
I
thought.
want some extra clove with garlic.
Oh, wow, yours is so much sweeter.
I know.
Smell mine.
Oh, I don't like the way yours smells at all.
Maybe it's the glass. We have different
could
glasses.
be. The nose on hers is awful. Mine is way better.
Has
Oh
no
God,
flavor
it's
in
the
yours.
glass.
Let me
It
smell
smells
it.
like the. Oh Jesus.
That's what I'm. Yeah, it's so strong.
You need
No,
a
that's-
Oh, it
the
smells like
glass.
it smells like mildewy. Like
yeah,
the glass
that's
smells
what the
mildewy.
smell is. I couldn't
That's
figure out.
You
not.
need a
That's not the
different
bourbon
glass.
for you.
No.
Try
It's
that.
the glass.
Try
No,
my
don't
glass.
drink it,
You're gonna get sick.
No, you won't.
girl. You're gonna get sick.
Alcohol. Alcohol
No.
kills all bad stuff.
That tastes like corn whiskey.
I like corn whiskey, and I don't like that.
I
I like me some
open-
cold
might-
whiskey.
Homemade, not off the shelf.
we might have to turn the air up a little bit.
Yeah, it is hot in here. It's probably all the us talking plus we're so close together.
Mom's got the window open.
Oh, that's so nice.
That's actually really nice. We got some nice ambience.
ambience.
We got that ambience. To go with your hillbilly whiskey, we got the ambience.
We got some nice ambience.
Okay, so anyway, I added like 4 or 5 drops
Plastic.
of water to my glass. And
Plastic cork.
plastic cork?
Plastic cork.
That's
That's
shame.
unfortunate.
That cork is now in the ocean. That was an amazing
went
throw
on.
through
Thank
the
you.
window
Thank
into
you,
the
He
Lucy.
can
ocean.
throw
Ritter. Thank you.
pigskin a quarter mile.
I bet you can throw it over the mountains.
So as far
Should've
as
seen me back in '82.
as far as the nose goes, with a couple drops of water, it really opens it up. But it smells more caramelly and corny. But as far as the flavors go on the palate, I don't like it as much.
Yeah.
It's definitely in your glass with the water. It's straight caramel,
Yeah.
but the finish on I haven't had a sip in a while, and the taste in my mouth is chocolate.
Yeah.
If this is the best that we were told,
That's a bad sign.
This is the caramel corn of bourbon.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Thank you for putting the exact words in my mouth.
But like the cheap stuff you get at the fair, not like the good stuff you get
That
at
you
flea
get at-
markets, or not
or
flea markets, but
the
antique
mall.
You mean
things.
the stuff you could get at Henry Clay football games?
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out Henry Clay for
High school.
being
let's
yeah.
just do this right now. We're shouting out schools. Shout out to the University of Kentucky Wildcats for being 4-time in a row
SEC champions.
SEC champions. Yo,
Shout out
Pete.
TKU.
And we lost another
Yay.
40
Shout out.
followers.
to UK track team indoor meet this weekend. They finished the best that they ever have in the NCAA indoor track meet.
don't you have another national champion to tell about?
UK rifle team.
All right.
Jeez.
What's TKU doing these days?
Nothing.
Nothing.
We're on spring
Oh,
break.
that-
Mourning,
right.
mourning the fact that Perry's going to be graduating in May.
UK.
Yeah.
Woo-wee. No, they're going to throw me a party.
No, they're not. We are.
I'm making the posters at work, and there's gonna be social media posts. It's gonna be great.
And just me, like, with thumbs up and a big wide smile going,
Yeah.
"Ah."
Just poop.
I work for you.
Oh no.
Okay, anyway, so now that we've taken some time to experience the bourbon, we're going to jump into, and I'm a little stopped up, I'm sorry. We're
Maybe I
going
should have hosted.
yeah, you should have
I
hosted.
should have.
We're going to jump into our numerated review of
Numerated.
it. Yeah.
You can't.
This
So-
here is numerated.
So,
Explain that numeration to
oh
me.
my gosh. So for new listeners, I'm gonna try to get this back on track. We have a review system of 4 different categories: nose, palate, finish, and price. Each category is out of 5, and at the end we tally it up for a total score out of 20. Now at the store, it was what, like under $30?
I think it was like, yeah, I think it was 28 to 32.
Okay.
I guess technically this bourbon podcast is sponsored by Dad because he paid for it, I'm assuming.
Hey,
There you go.
sponsored by Escondida Farms.
There we
Your
go.
source for the best beef in Kentucky.
And there's finger guns from Lucy.
I don't even know.
I'm in advertising if you can't tell.
I don't even know. What
Okay,
to say.
anyway, so we're gonna put
Lucy had a quick nap right before the show. I don't know.
She's feeling great.
I feel
I had a
fantastic.
long nap before
Glass
the
of
show.
rosé with some gin, mixed in some bourbon. I'm great.
You're set. You're
I'm
set.
great.
Okay, so we're gonna set the price, I think, at $30.
Let's just call it 30.
So anyway, Dad, you have done this review before, so I'm gonna let you go first.
So have you.
Well, yeah, but I'm the host of the show.
He has to go last.
This is my show.
He's special.
The nose, I'll give it a 2.5.
Out of what?
5.
5.
Okay.
Palate, I'll give it probably a 1.
Wow.
That's not liking this.
That's not good. Yeah. Keep going.
Price?
Mm.
What's next?
Finish.
Finish.
How do you decipher that?
I'd probably go to 2.
Yeah.
And then the price, I give it probably 2.5.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's a little overpriced for what we're getting.
Okay, so
It's still,
go ahead.
we have underpriced bourbons that we're looking at that are still much better than this.
Yeah.
So much better.
Yeah, I agree.
Evan Williams at an 86 proof is so much better than this. My suggestion to Hillbilly is
Age your bourbon longer.
age your bourbon.
That's where the emptiness came in, I think. It was
Age
just
your
empty.
bourbon.
Yeah. It
Like it was promising, and then there was nothing.
I
Yeah.
think that
There's
even
no
if we
complexity to it.
yeah, and
No.
I think even if we kept it opened up a little bit, I don't think we're going to get much more
No, but I am
satisfaction out of it.
I am interested to know what it's going to be like after a month.
Okay,
He'll get back to you on that.
but
Yeah.
the other thing is, like I always say if I say something negative, you got a good product out there. Let's see what you can do better.
Yeah. Definitely. So Dad's score rounds out at an 8 out of 20.
I'm
It
sorry.
might be good mixed with something.
It might be.
It might be a good mix
True.
for bourbon.
It could.
Yeah.
I tell you, I like the bottle. I think you know.
That's great.
Oh yeah, the bottle and the packaging is really nice.
And-
and
Well,
I-
I'll say
and
the
I honestly-
type is okay.
Honestly, think it's more country than it is southern.
Some rock and roll.
Do
Yeah,
we understand
I agree.
what I mean
I
by
agree.
that? I
Yeah.
mean, I think that a lot of the people
definitely
that
agree with you.
that are listening will.
And when this episode goes up, I'll as I've been doing share a picture of the bottle along. It doesn't matter. It'll be on social media. You'll get to see what it looks like. Anyway, so Dad's total score is an 8 out of 20. Mom, how would you?
What's the first one?
Hey, I
No,
give a
it-
20 out of 20 for the water.
And the
I thought you didn't
popcorn.
like the water.
You hated the water. You said the water sucked.
Well,
You said the
Hydration
water
is
sucked.
key.
though.
The water does
that's
suck.
true. You gotta have water.
Anyway, so
Okay.
the 4 categories are nose, palate, finish, and price.
I would give the nose around a 1.5. I mean, I just couldn't smell much of anything.
We'll give them a 1.5 just
There
for the
you go.
benefit of the
Mine?
doubt.
Burn
No.
your nose
No,
off.
it's, no,
That's
because
probably
the
even
glass
worse.
smells
And then
like
knock
this-
it down
no,
to
the
a
glass smells terrible,
half.
Kathy.
Kathy.
Singed my
Oh, it
nostril
does.
hairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're not drinking bourbon out of that glass
No,
anymore.
Okay, so next is
Palate.
like I said, there's just not much complexity at all to it compared
Yeah.
to what we've had.
Yeah.
I would go with probably a 2.
Okay.
Sorry,
What did I give?
Sorry,
what did I
Hillbilly.
give for my palate?
You gave it a 1.
I think I might up it to a 2,
Okay.
it's not horrible. I mean,
which
it had
raises
some.
my
From an 8 to a 9.
to a 9. But I mean, I just had a sip again, and I was like, okay, well, it's okay. It sits well.
I'll be honest, it's kind of opened up a little bit
The
since we've been
finish,
sitting
I
here.
think
Sits
the
well.
finish is better. The long since
I think the finish
another
is-
sip.
Oh,
I would
I'm
go
gonna be
more
the
with
jerk.
I would go more with the 3.5 for the finish,
Okay. We'll do 3.5.
and then for the price, I think it's overpriced.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah.
So what do you give the price then?
Probably a 2.
Okay.
Sorry, I feel bad for Hillbilly.
Mom
I mean, I think
said
they're
sorry
trying.
after every single rating.
I think they're
Just-
trying though. I think they have good intentions. They
Hey,
just-
at least you tried.
yeah.
You're doing great,
Thanks for
sweetie.
effort.
Keep trying. You'll get there.
Okay, so Mom then gave it
Another 9.
Mom also gave it a 9 out of 20.
Aw, this is why they're
Well, you know what?
together.
You know what? This is the bourbon market is so competitive,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that can I? Is it cool to say this
Go ahead.
before
Go ahead and
Lucy
say what. Go ahead and say what
Lucy
you're saying.
score?
Yeah.
Because I think what they're really trying to do is hit the market
Quickly.
quickly,
Yeah. I agree.
and I do believe that
I do believe.
that they need to let it sit in the barrels a little bit longer.
I agree.
We talked about this about a bourbon that we
you can't
have,
rush bourbon, people.
we have not
Thanks,
the
Sarah.
bourbon in Paris, Kentucky that I wanted to buy a bottle of that you just turned your nose up at.
I'm not gonna name it.
No.
But I do want to buy a bottle of it, and just because I know it hasn't. Don't even go there. Because it hasn't aged long enough.
Yeah.
But you can't rush this stuff, guys.
No.
But you got to make money to keep it sustained,
True.
and that's
Yeah,
where you run
exactly.
into problems.
True.
And that's a whole nother conversation
But you
and
know,
episode too.
I think you could put out a corn, like a moonshine type of thing, like they do at like a White Dog.
Right.
Or a gin.
Or a gin or vodka
Yeah.
at the start while you're aging your bourbon as to not rush it but still make money.
And in the future too, I want to do an episode on how older doesn't mean better with
Yeah.
bourbon. Mom,
is-
would you close the door back, please? It's getting windy. Sorry.
Yes, dear.
But can I?
You're welcome.
But
The heat's running
I do want to say something that you and I. The reason why Perry and I talked to Nick Carter from SiriusXM Volume,
Not Backstreet Boys.
not Backstreet Boys, was that one of my favorite bands, Metallica, is going into the bourbon whiskey business.
Yeah.
And they are bringing in.
I'm so apprehensive about it.
They are bringing in
The makers,
ex-makers, master distiller.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, and
I
he's
can't
probably
either.
listening to this going, "I hate you guys."
I'll link that article
I love
in the
Metallica.
description of this episode.
But I hope, and this is our suggestion to them, is that they let it age. I mean, if it's as good as Metallica, let it age. Don't put it right out there. Don't do something stupid.
Wish I could think of the right lyric to put in there. But alas, I cannot.
Whiskey in a jar.
Whiskey in a jar. They covered whiskey in a jar.
Mm-hmm.
So did Dead. Anyway, that's that. Go.
All right, before I do my nose, the nose on it, does anyone have a glass that has not had water in it?
No.
Is this Penn and Teller? Is this
Do you want a
trick?
different glass?
No.
Do you want a different glass?
No, I'll just do the nose based on the couple drops because my glass did not, it was terrible and it didn't smell right. So based on, oh yeah, I guess you could do a little bit there.
Yeah. We're going to pour a little bit more so Lucy knows what the nose was like. That's perfect.
I think though
Yeah, it is.
that this bourbon is good for beginner bourbon drinkers because
Ah.
it's not strong, it's pretty sweet and kind of goes down easy. There's not too
I
much
have to
to
agree
it.
with you.
You
Except
you
they
can
could probably
kind of get
find something-
introduced.
They could probably find something
less
better that's
expensive, though.
less expensive.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, but I
I
agree.
mean, Evan
it's-
Williams.
Yeah.
If you don't know what you're really drinking, then this is good.
Yeah.
Till you've had something better.
Yeah. I completely agree.
I get what you're saying.
Yes. I actually think the nose is pretty good. It's very sweet.
Yeah.
And I like a sweeter bourbon, and I actually tend to go towards ryes because they tend to be sweeter, even though they're not bourbon. So I'm going to give the nose actually a 4. I'm going to go high on the nose.
Wow.
Because to me
Look
it
at
smells
you.
really good, and I would burn a candle that smells like this.
Oh, cool.
You're pulling a Tanner for
I measure smells
Shout
by
out.
whether or not I
Yeah.
burn a candle that smells like it.
Yeah.
Or spray a Febreze that smells like it. Maybe not a Febreze because our house might smell like we're alcoholics, but a candle for sure.
Boy, they got a moonshine still on the back of the house. I can just tell from walking
Or
in.
inside.
We better.
Moonshine doesn't smell like this. Moonshine smells good.
There's another shirt. Moonshine doesn't smell like this. Lucy Bellamy.
No, I love the smell of shine.
Ew.
No,
Ew.
shine is good. Homemade shine's real good. I don't recommend a lot of the stuff that's on the shelves, but there are a lot of good white dogs that are similar that have a better taste. In my opinion, I think a lot of the moonshines on the shelves taste like rubbing alcohol, and there's not much complexity.
Yeah.
So I do recommend trying a white dog if you are looking for a corn whiskey with a better flavor profile than what you're going to find in a jar on the shelves in liquor stores.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
What's the next
Palate.
palate.
Gotta try some
Another
more.
taste.
Yeah.
It's a very empty palate. It goes by very quickly. I'm gonna give it a 2. It's not terrible. I think it'd be good mixed, but I don't think I could sit here and just drink it straight and feel like the calories were worth it.
Good point.
I measure a lot of things
Yeah, that's a
based on
very
whether
good
or
point.
not it's worth, what it's putting into my body and the calories and all that, because alcohol isn't good if you're dieting or any of that, and it's a lot of sugars and all that. So to me, it's not
true.
worth that. And then finish, surprisingly not terrible.
I actually really like the finish.
The finish is way better than the palate.
It's really sweet.
It is. It tastes like chocolate and caramel at the end, and it sticks around.
Mm-hmm.
Where the palate went away real fast, there's kind of like this period of nothingness, and then it comes back better.
Yep.
So I'm gonna give that a 3.5.
Okay.
Price I'm giving is 0. It is not worth that money, and it makes me very mad that it's $30 for this product.
No
To me-
apologies either, like I did.
No.
It could be a $12 bottle of bourbon.
I mean, I ranked them higher on other things. I will not say that it is worth $30. It's definitely a 15 and under bourbon.
Yeah.
I can't believe they charged that much for it.
Okay, well, you had a 9.5.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be higher, but I guess
No.
No.
Well, I mean,
At
with
zero,
your
Yeah.
your
Zero.
nose outlier, I mean,
Yeah, it wasn't really an outlier.
well, as far as
Four
the
and
noses go, for
Zero was
I mean,
the
Dad
outlier.
had a 2.5, Mom had a 1.5.
Out of everybody's.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like me,
I mean,
right
yeah,
there,
I can
rehearsal.
understand why you thought that it was going to be, a higher rating,
Yeah.
but
The price makes me mad.
yeah. No, I get that.
So you have a lot of feelings.
Okay, let me. Yeah, so your total score was a 9.5 out of 20. Across the board, I think this is the lowest rated bourbon that we've had on this show so
Ooh.
far.
Well, can I just chime in there and just say I'm not surprised.
I'm not either.
It's what I expected it to be. What are you doing?
Yeah,
I've had worse bourbons though
I have too.
that I've just hated.
I have
we
too.
haven't
And I don't.
reviewed.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't completely hate this bourbon. I have had bourbon that is supposed to be a better bourbon that a lot of people like that I have personally I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I think we could take it to UK tailgate and get rid of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Like
that's fine.
hold it out for the beginning, and then once people have a couple
Yeah.
makers in them,
It could be fun. People might like to try it just
Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
where it's from and the name of the bottle. And
best thing I've ever had.
take it to the UK Gamecocks game.
Yeah, no
There you
kidding.
go.
Yeah, it'd be a great way to, bring people together.
Unite the
Yeah,
SEC.
sure.
We are SEC
Unite with the
champs.
Cox.
The University of Kentucky Wildcats.
So I'm going to go ahead and spoil my total score. I gave the highest total score out of everybody. And I'll explain.
Because he's a nice guy.
I'll explain why. But I also am critical with my. I'll explain when I get there.
He's generally nicer than most people, though.
So, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, babe.
Mom and Dad.
So on the nose, I gave it a 2.5. Again, there wasn't really anything there that I was really excited about, but it was kind of sweet. And once I added some water, it did open up a little bit. So I think that the excitement in not knowing what's about to happen in the nose is what led me to the 2.5.
10 of in anticipation.
Sure, yeah. The palate was a 1.5 for me.
Really?
Yeah. And spoilers, that was the lowest score I gave out of everything. I don't know. It was almost like it worked too perfectly together. In a way that like it was so boring. You know how like you go see
Yeah.
you see a movie
Yeah.
that's really predictable.
Or you get an album that's overproduced. and
This
you're
is
just
how it
like,
felt.
Yeah.
It felt like it felt like a predictable drink
Yeah.
to me, and so like it hit a couple of the check boxes for me, but overall I was like, there isn't anything to it that makes me want to recommend it to other people or let them try it, But the finish was, again, the finish was super nice, I thought. And it does kind of come back with a sweetness and a little bit. There's like the teeny tiniest bit of spice on the finish.
Yeah.
Like right on the middle of your tongue.
Yep.
And I can't put my finger on, it's almost like black pepper, I think. But I can't be for sure what that finish
To
is.
me, it's more cinnamony.
Yeah, but I mean there is like a
Do it.
spice in the middle of the tongue on the finish.
Yeah.
And then for the price, I'm gonna give it a 2.5. And the reason I gave it a 2.5 is because, and I've said this before on the show, even if it's one of the worst things that you can try, it's still worth trying it, so that you know why you like higher priced or better bourbons.
For the price, I don't think it's worth it though.
But I'm not saying it, but there are other bourbons that I've given higher price scores for because they're more worth it. You know?
Yeah, but I'm saying that if you're going to try this just to measure other bourbons, it's not worth that price tag.
Well, I would
wouldn't be-
recommend trying this in a bar before you bought a bottle
yeah,
of it.
I wouldn't buy a bottle.
You know.
of a bottle.
No.
Unless they're really marking it up at the bar.
They're probably marking it up. Probably locally, they're marking it up.
Yeah.
They're
I
like,
would agree.
this is like, this will. Can't you see the bartender saying, this is like as good as you're gonna find?
Yep.
If it's more than $7, don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
For now.
I would agree.
But
But
it's $11 pour or something like
Heck
that at
no.
a bar. Hell no.
But I still think that there is value in experiencing something so that you can measure it against what you think you like.
I agree, but not for
You know.
$30.
No, but that's why I gave it a 2.5. I didn't give it like really.
You're right.
I didn't give it like a glowing review in terms of price.
So what was your final score?
My final score is a 10 out of 20.
Okay, so
Close
we're
to
all
what we
Yeah.
all like an average.
Yeah, I mean average is a 9.5. I think.
Unfortunately, Hillbilly didn't hit over a 10,
No,
but like we suggest,
50 is a failing grade, though, so.
but like we suggest, let it
In
age
America.
a little bit more. I guarantee you, if you guys let this product age, it's gonna do okay.
You know what I would
You're
like
putting
to-
it out too much.
I
too
would like
fast.
to get a bottle of this and buy just a little barrel, like a little personal barrel, for a house, and age it for another 6 months.
That's too expensive to do that all.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure, it's a little out of the way, but it would be worth it in terms of like experiment.
Well, and the other thing too is,
Yes.
if Hillbilly is doing something that we don't know, let us know, let you know,
Sure, email in. This is my bourbon shop at gmail.com.
and that way we can
Don't hate
promote your product. Perry can promote your product, or I can when I'm on there with him, or when I give you my Twitter handle,
Sure.
and we can promote your product and say you're doing this, and in 10 years or 5 years or 6 years, you're going to have a really good Southern
So.
whiskey.
There's a lot of potential in this.
Yes.
And I
The
think
consensus is it's not worth it as price point.
it's not
Yeah,
worth
But
it.
it has
I
potential.
feel
It
like
has
it's not
potential.
worth it right now.
Yeah.
It has all the makings for something that could be really good in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
I think
And it's beneficial to expanding your palate.
Yeah,
Right.
and we're not recommending or we're not rating it based on future possibilities. We're rating it on the way that it is right now.
Right.
So,
That's very close-minded of you, Perry.
Jesus.
you know what? We're gonna close out our review segment then.
Baby down, man.
Gee whiz. We're going to move on to one of my favorite segments of the show, Tips and Bits, which is our recommendation portion of the show. I'm going to let Lucy go first because she seems really excited about it.
See, I was waiting to collect my thoughts on this.
Oh, well then never mind. I'm going to go to Dad
Unless
first
you're not
then.
ready, I can come up
No,
with
I'm
something.
shooting over to Mom.
Okay, Mom's
Yeah,
going first.
so-
Because
I
if
can
Mom forgets
recommend-
something, I'm recommending something.
How many recommendations?
as many as you want.
How long do we have?
17 minutes.
All right.
Go ahead, Mom.
Well, wait.
That's not a good time.
You can
What?
recommend
She's having
anything.
a great time.
Okay. Anything. Doesn't have to be bourbon.
Doesn't have to
No.
be bourbon.
Anything.
Doesn't, yeah.
But I hope I'm not stealing Lucy's thunder. I recommend Emma Bellamy's movie.
Yeah. We're.
I
That
wasn't
was-
going to say that.
I was-
Pray
But
at night.
We'll talk about that more in a minute.
Drinking responsibly. Because I am everybody's mom.
Thank you, Mama.
You are everybody's
for
mom.
us.
I don't know if I have any recommendations.
She's the podcast mom,
I think
too.
you do have one. Other
Oh,
one that
Mom
you
is
have
definitely
not
the
even
official
said
mom of the
anything about.
podcast.
What am I forgetting? Dad? Oh. Well, I recommend my business, Snagglefoot Dog Walks
Oh my
and
gosh,
Pet Care
yeah.
in Lexington, Kentucky. Give us a
Yeah.
call. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram. You can Google us.
And if you
I work for them.
Yes, Sarah works for us.
And if you have
Friendly neighborhood dog walker.
I promote them.
if you need help trying to get in contact with them, let me know, and we'll redirect your call.
Dog
Kathy.
walk,
It's Snagglefoot.
cat care,
Or cat walks.
turtles, birds,
That's
Snakes,
just you.
rats.
anything, any kind of pet.
All
Spiders.
God's creatures.
Yes.
Your dog birthday party.
Absolutely.
Snagglefoot.
SNAGGLE
for you.
foot.
All right, Dad.
All one word. Anyway, Sarah, what do you want to recommend?
For one thing, water.
Ears.
Good filtered water.
Cheers to
Can I
water.
add to her recommendation? Because mine's sort of like that.
Sure,
One
go
of
ahead.
them. Water with electrolytes for the next day.
There you go.
There you go.
There you
go.
go.
Now you're
That
talking.
junk is good.
Tip for your 21st
Music recommendation would be Billy. How do you pronounce it, Pear?
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish.
We've talked about her on the show
Don't
many a
Smile
time.
at Me. Great album.
Oh, such a good album.
The snacks here at This Is My Bourbon podcast are incredible.
Well, we spare no expense here.
Boom chicka pop.
Right?
with some salt.
Wait till we have him at home.
Mario Badescu. Is that how you say it? Rosewater facial spray.
Oh.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thanks to Dad for that one.
Introduced to the family thanks to Lucy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also, of course, Emma.
Yes.
Yes.
Pray at night.
Emma
Pray
Bellamy
night.
with an O. BELLOMY.
She goes to USC as
Yeah.
well. So
University of South Carolina. Yeah.
go
Go on.
Gamecocks. It's the
Go
only
Cox.
time
Go
I'll
Cox.
ever
Only
say
time
that.
she's ever going to say that.
Yep.
And always to UK.
High five.
That was a high five.
Who wants to go next, Dad or Lucy?
I can go.
Go.
I've
Okay.
gathered my thoughts. First recommendation would be West 6 Cerveza
Yes.
because it is freaking
Cerveza.
delicious.
It is
Yep.
so
It is.
good.
I am very picky when it comes to beer because, like I said earlier, it's hard to find a beer worth the carbs and the calories. And I'm not a huge fan of light beer. But, if I'm at the beach or the lake or wherever I may be near water, I do like a good beer.
Pool pond.
How many times are
Yeah.
you going to do that?
Body of water, I want a beer. My favorite type of beer is
You got a pool?
Oktoberfest beer, which I also
Pool.
recommend. And any Oktoberfest celebrations you can get to. Wiener Schnitzel, any type of sausage, pretzels, it's all good.
You've been holding that one
Sauerkraut,
back for a while, haven't you?
German potato salad, it's my
Well,
favorite
German's
time of the
the way.
year.
That place that we went to in Nashville with the German
Yo.
potato salad.
It was killer.
So good.
Whoever showed up
What a
was
night!
left behind.
What a night, though.
What a night.
Whoever's training with whomever. We
And
don't
that's a
know.
story for another time.
Yeah.
It's a story not for the podcast, probably.
So now that I've gone over recommending Oktoberfest because it is better than Christmas to me, and the West 6 Cerveza, my point is that it's right underneath Oktoberfest beer for me, and it's on the lighter side of beer, and I really, really like it. It's like a Corona, but better.
I agree.
And it's year-round, so if you're not from Kentucky, I hope you can find it somewhere.
Definitely.
I tried to find their locations where they sell outside of Kentucky, and I could not find that information. So if you're at West 6 and listening, you should add that to your website.
And we love you, West 6.
We love you so much.
Shout out West 6.
West 6
Hey.
is so
Shop
great.
local.
Also,
Shop
West,
local.
West 6, you should really age a beer in bourbon barrels.
Heck yeah.
Please. We would
Please.
love that.
Pretty please.
Yeah.
And then come on the podcast.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yes. We need to get on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys can do that.
I'm gonna get on that.
West 6
Anyway.
can do that.
Anyway, Dad, what are
I'm
your
not
tips?
done.
Oh, sorry, Lucy. What are
Keep
what are
skipping
the-
over me.
what are the
Mom's
rest
got
of
to
your
cook
tips
dinner
and
here in a
hints?
bit. We've been like change here.
I've
We
been
gotta
thinking
go.
now.
7 o'clock.
Since Sarah endorsed UK, I've got to endorse EKU, Eastern Kentucky,
Go Colonels.
Kentucky University. Go Kerns.
Girls.
We are just outside of Lexington. We are smaller than UK, but we have more majors, so come see us.
That's true.
Yeah, we got a lot of options going. If
Mhm.
you're into police or firemen
Well,
stuff and,
la-dee-da.
Or graphic design.
or graphic design or aviation, we are the school for you.
You, as I'm pointing at the microphone.
So I'm not done. I can tell you're about to move on. I got a couple more
I was
here.
just gonna say a lot of this podcast feels like it's just like a commercial at times.
That's where I work in advertising. That's how I roll.
Don't forget your Twitter handles and your Instagram.
Well, yeah, we're
I'm
gonna
gonna
get
have
that.
to look mine up
We're
'cause I
gonna
don't
we're gonna
remember.
get there in a
All right,
bit.
here we go.
But
Just
I'd
wait, just
also
wait.
like to recommend moisturizing at least twice daily.
Let's see.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Once if you really can't do
Using
that.
an SPF.
SPF for sure.
Yes.
Um,
On the daily.
and washing your hands after you go to the bathroom, or at least 5 times a day. Because it's just gross if you don't. You don't want to get diseases. You don't want to get pink eye. It's just nothing you want to deal with. So just wash your hands because it's not that hard. I mean, come
And
on.
sing the happy birthday song when you wash your hands.
Yeah.
Is that how long it takes?
Yeah.
Or ABCs.
Oh, interesting.
Get between the fingers. Get under the nails. Be thorough.
Showering, Dad.
And try not to use
I like
liquid
to shower.
soap if you're a germaphobe like I am, because there's all sorts of bacteria on bar soap.
We're all about hygiene here on
Yeah.
This is My Bourbon podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care for bar soap.
Are you finished with
I believe I'm finished now. Thank
with
you.
your tips and bits?
Thank
Okay.
you for
What's wrong
my
with bar
pedestal
soap?
there.
You're welcome. Dad, what are your tips and bits?
I have 4 shout-outs I'd like to give real fast.
Okay.
Oh boy.
First one is to the little feller Dane Ritter. We love you and we miss you. Second one is to our friend Adrian Dillon in Australia. We hope to see you in Chicago this summer. Third is to Garland Hurt, who is Perry's and my trainer. You kick our butt.
We need to have
I
Garland on
have
the
a
show
recommendation
sometime.
that I need to add.
And the fourth one
Or
is to
not a
Stephanie
recommendation.
Lester. We wear pink for you.
Yeah. What's your addition, Sarah?
My additional shout out is to my best friend's and roommate's mother, who is a listener.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah.
Dawn,
Yeah.
thanks for listening.
We've been meaning to
Hope
shout
to
her
meet
out
you
for a little
soon.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She, I think
Even
Dawn.
though you're a Patriots fan.
Dawn actually. Oh jeez. Dawn actually might be our most loyal
J-E-T-S,
listener
Jets.
She might be.
on the
But
show.
we still love you, Dawn.
Oh my gosh. Yes, Dawn. Hey, thank you so much for listening. We
And
really
thanks for
appreciate
your
it.
very charismatic daughter.
We love Haley.
Yes.
Oh, Haley.
She's living it up at Fort Lauderdale.
She's having a ball at spring break, but she's a good fit in the Ritter household.
Yeah. Anyway, Dad, what are the rest of your recommendations?
Sorry, I don't know.
I don't know. Take a vacation. If you can afford a vacation, you deserve a vacation. You always deserve a vacation. You.
That sounds like a travel agent.
Yeah, take a vacation. You
Take a
deserve.
vacation. Enjoy the NCAA tournament. It is
Go freaking cats.
Okay.
It is 3 weeks of just fun.
Wear your 3 goggles if you're a Cats fan.
It's my turn, Sarah.
Sorry.
Okay.
I go to UK. I have to give my 2 cents.
Jeez.
Listen to feedback on volume, Sirius XM channel 106. It's a great channel. Great shows on there. You'll enjoy Nick Carter and Lori Majewski and Eddie Trunks and Mark Goodman and Alan Light all day long. They're it's talk music. It's talk radio for music lovers. I don't know. Baseball season's coming up. Go Mets.
Go Cards.
Go Dodgers.
Go
Walk
Merlin.
Go Sox. I know. Go Sox for Dane.
Go the Major League Baseball.
Yeah. Don't look at ESPN because they don't
Because
follow
they don't.
baseball
Yeah,
at all.
no kidding.
But that's all. That's all. We love you
Okay.
all. We want you to listen to us.
I recommend that anybody that can come to David Ritter's piano recital.
Oh, yes. What would be the time, day, and location on that?
The date is, remind me, David, April 20th?
No.
We'll look it up and get back to you.
It'll be in the
All right, here it
description
is.
section of
It's
this
April
episode.
28th. It's the week after Record Store Day, which I highly recommend.
At Faith Lutheran Church,
Jesus Christ.
Chevy Chase in Lexington.
Tates Creek Road, Lexington, Kentucky.
Okay, come to Dad's piano recital. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm going to recommend a few things. The first thing I'm going to recommend is a podcast. It's called Hey Fam. They're out of Australia.
Australia.
I say Australia so much because that's like the only. Those are the only podcasts I listen to.
What are they about?
They're a pop
Australia.
culture podcast.
Really?
They're
Ooh,
fantastic.
I love pop
Hey,
culture.
fam.
Hey Fam.
Okay.
Oh, I have another one. I
They'll
just
do
remembered.
movies and TV shows, and like they just did an episode on The Good Place recently. They do like video games and,
Right.
and music and stuff too. Andrew Levins and Angus, I can't remember Angus's last name.
It's not young.
It's not young.
Is it beef?
No.
Why does he sound like a smoke?
Is it beef?
Oh.
No, it's not beef.
Angus beef.
Anyway,
smell it.
Levins and Angus from Australia for Hey Fam.
Hey
One of
Fam.
my favorite podcasts that I've listened to.
Hey, fam.
Hey, fam.
Hey Fam,
listen
it's
to
Hey
you sing.
Fam is how they introduce their
Hey, fam.
shows.
Have they shouted out to you?
No, they haven't, but I'll
Bastards.
I'll see I'll see if I can get them to do that.
Now they
Kidding.
won't.
I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding.
Lucy and I
in
binged
trouble now.
Atlanta recently.
Yes.
Atlanta is
Atlanta's a great show.
maybe one of the best shows on TV right
We hear
now.
it's fantastic.
I think it is.
It's very woke.
We haven't seen season 2 yet.
Stay woke, Sarah.
Yeah, and in that
They be
same
creeping.
in that same mindset, Childish Gambino, one of my favorite musical artists for sure. And then we have to keep plugging it because it's out now, and you need to go see it. Strangers Pray at Night, of course.
Absolutely.
Number 3 in the box office.
Number
this
3 at the
weekend.
box office in its first weekend.
I know.
I mean,
Emma's the coolest person I know right now.
thanks, Sarah.
I think she's blowing it. Yeah, she's cooler than all 5 of us
Besides
sitting
you,
there
Mama.
combined.
I know.
Oh, well, never
How do you
mind.
think she got this cool? Because
Yeah,
I was
not.
around her whole life.
You're the
You'll
OG.
phrase it
I
right.
am
Yeah.
the OG.
Yeah, you're the OG.
Would you say
Kathy
she
Ritter's
preyed
the
off
OG
your
of OGs,
coolness?
though.
She totally preyed off my coolness.
Jeez. Ugh.
Okay. Well,
Sounds gross.
yeah,
Anyway,
right.
go see Strangers Pray at Night. I like it better than the first one,
Agreed.
personally.
In theaters now.
In theaters now. And if you want an autograph from Emma, maybe we can hook you up with one.
Yep.
You know.
And
What?
an autograph from Perry. Maybe.
I was
Venmo
gonna say,
Lucy
if you want
Ritter
an autograph from
$1,000, and I can send it your way.
Perry Ritter has CDs that from his solo
yeah,
career
my
that
music.
he would love to get rid of.
Venmo me $1,000. I'll send one your way.
You know,
and a T-shirt or 2 that you can order. It's
You know,
no
I
big
don't think that I have any CDs left. I think I've sold out of all of my CDs
Really?
of the album.
I
Yeah.
don't
You
know
could
where mine
reorder them.
is.
But you can buy it on iTunes.
You can. You can buy the digital copy on iTunes and
No.
Bandcamp and
Are you on Spotify?
Google
No.
Play.
Negative?
You're a little picky.
Mm-mm.
What's their deal?
Spotify, if you're
I like
listening,
Spotify,
if
though.
Spotify is listening, we're trying to get the podcast on Spotify too.
They're so picky about podcasts.
They really are.
Yeah.
They really are. Anyway, so we're gonna wrap up tips and bits for
been
this
a long
episode.
For a long
Bits and
time.
tips.
It's been a fun.
Bits and tips,
It's
yeah.
been a fun 17 hours.
You wouldn't believe the
12
editing I've had to
hours
do for this
later.
episode.
We're at an hour and a half.
So anybody who wants to share their social media accounts, if you want people to connect with you, do that now.
Okay, I'll go first.
Sarah's just waiting.
Twitter and Instagram are the same. It's OOH_Sarah with an H 98.
Cool.
Thanks.
Yeah. Mom, Dad, maybe.
I'll only promote Snagglefoot's. Snagglefoot,
Understand
Lexington. You can just find us. You can Google us. You can
Yeah.
find us any place on Instagram, Facebook.
The Instagram handle is SnagglefootLex. LEX.
There you go. Dad.
I'm Instagram Ritter5, and I'm at Twitter at JDR Ritter2.
JDR Ritter?
Ritter2, excuse me.
JDR.
JD Ritter2. That's it. And like I always say, don't follow me on Facebook. I will not follow you back. Unless I know you, and I won't follow you back.
Lucibel.
Mine is Lucy B. Ritter on Instagram. Bellamy's on there, sorry. Lucy, Lucy, B, like boy, Ritter, Ritter.
Be like Bellamy.
Be like Bellamy. And on Twitter, it is LKemp123. LKEMP123.
You want people to add you on Facebook?
Nah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't do that.
I got too many people to worry about as it is. I
Uh,
won't wish you happy birthday.
If you want to follow me on my personal accounts, I am at pritter1492 on just about every platform. If you would like to reach the show on Instagram or Twitter, we are at My Bourbon Shop. You can find us on Gmail at thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. You can use the hashtag This Is My Bourbon Podcast if you would like to send us questions, comments, reviews, whatnot. Give us a 5-star rating on iTunes. We got a 1-star rating.
Who does that?
I don't know.
Who does that?
I don't know. They didn't leave any feedback. It drives me
If
crazy.
you were that person, please reach out to Perry and tell him why. It's been torturing
Or please
him.
It's
just
been
go
driving
away.
me crazy.
He
I
just
haven't been
wants
able
to know why. He doesn't think you need to change it. He just wants to know why.
I haven't been able to sleep at night.
The anxiety my son is going through is horrible.
He just wants to know what to
the
fix.
problem is. We can fix it. We'll fix it for you, and we'll give it. You know,
Problems can't be fixed if you
want-
don't tell us why it was a
I
problem
know.
in the first place.
If you want more Chad and Sarah and less Curtis and Tanner.
how about more dad?
More
Or,
Dad.
Or Sarah.
Or more Lucy than Perry, that's totally fine. We can
Sure.
make that
Lucy
happen.
and I should do a podcast.
We should.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It'll be about wine. The three of us. Three
Well,
ladies.
yeah.
But
Three
one
ladies
can't-
are gonna
but
do
one
one.
Yeah, but
isn't
one can't drink yet.
remember.
I'm supposed to be drinking the water.
Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Remember
Water-
Someday-
water- Oh, it'll be called Water into Wine.
Okay, what about cheese?
you
We'll
go.
start off with cheese
Okay,
and
then
progress into wine.
Yeah.
As you age.
Oh,
Like fine wine and cheese does.
Oh, my golly!
This is great.
Ah,
This
jeez.
is great.
This is never gonna end.
No.
No
It's
kidding.
ending right now.
Dinner's gonna be
I'm
at
trying
9
to I'm
p.m.
trying to
I
wrap it
gotta
up.
cook.
Also, we are on Patreon, patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. If you would like to donate to the podcast every month
Please do.
to keep us going, it would really help us out, even just with hosting right now. Or if you want the special surprise that comes if you donate $50 a month. You know,
Perry at your door.
it's me.
We'll sing you a nice little song, bring a bottle of bourbon, light some candles. It'll be great.
He's not doing that, Lucy.
Thanks for setting that up.
I don't know what's going on.
Setting me
there.
up for
Hey,
failure.
if you
I
get
don't know
$50 every month because of me, you'll be thanking me later.
You're not
Okay,
wrong.
that's
He's
great.
cute, guys, I promise.
Aw, babe.
Ugh.
Anyway, thank you all so much for listening, not only to this episode, but to the show in general. We have a lot of fun. Let your friends know about us. This is what keeps us going and keeps us wanting to make the show.
The bourbon helps.
The bourbon definitely does not detract from that. Next week, we're going to be dipping into an archive episode.
Uh-oh.
We're going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about bourbon collecting with a friend of the show, Mike Smith. So be on the lookout for that. But until then, everybody, thank you for being on the
Thank you,
show.
Perry.
Yay.
Thank you, Perry. We had a
You're
ball.
very welcome.
We're
Yeah,
pink.
we'll do this again in the future. But until then, I'm Perry, and this is my Bourbon Podcast.